All right, I think it's safe to go ahead and get started. Again, for those of you who are just joining us, thank you for joining us. My name is Candy Manning. I am one of the class sponsors for the class of 2025. Tom and I have both been sponsors for the last 3 years. Excited for a fourth year. Tom?
Yeah, we are looking forward to some of the great things we have planned. We're looking forward to this next month, which we have a couple great things coming up for the juniors as they get ready to finish up the junior year and head into senior year.
Mm-hmm. So as you all may be aware, or maybe you didn't know, but now you will, we've been promising them since ninth grade year that their senior class trip is just going to be absolutely phenomenal and awesome. And we are ready to deliver. We just need help from the parents and from the students with participation. But we are going to talk a little bit about that, well, mostly about that. But before we get into that, we just want to give you some more information that you may or may not know about the things that we have upcoming, in addition to how you can gain access to certain information. So we have an agenda here. We're going to talk about upcoming activities, the online payment center, which should be your best friend at this point, because we did try this year to make certain that things were on the online payment center sooner than later for you, so that you have access to things, you're able to budget differently and plan differently in terms of scheduling and timing and finances. With senior year approaching, there are quite a bit of information that's also important for you to be aware of, even just to be on the lookout for, because we did start sending emails home to parents as well. As it relates to prom, we're going to talk about our prom date that we have set. We will not yet disclose the location because we have not decided on one. We have a few options, but the date we could definitely give you, because we're trying to ensure that everyone is able to plan for the next year. And then, of course, our senior trip. And then how are we going to pay for it? So just bear with us. If you have any questions throughout the session, please feel free to put it in the Q&A. If you click on Q&A, you should be able to ask questions, and then we'll try to answer all of the questions that are posted there, as soon as we're able to.
Candy, I think first question came up that you may be showing the wrong screen right now. Everyone sees the presenter window. Yeah.
What are you seeing right now?
The presenter window. So there's a big box in the middle that says "Got it."
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Sorry guys, my first time using Zoom. I'm a Google Classroom type of girl. All right, let's see. Which one? Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. Thank you. Can you see it now?
It is starting. It just says you've started sharing the screen, but I don't actually see one now.
Really? And I see the screen here. All right, let's try it again. I'll do this screen here. How about now? What do you see?
Well, we see the presenter one again, but I don't know that that'll be a problem. I think the only notes we have in there are some links to various things, which I think people might benefit from as well.
Huh.
Yeah, so that might be okay.
I'm
It's
seeing
not
it on
maybe not
my
ideal.
screen.
But...
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to my desktop. Sorry, it's a little messy. What do you see now?
We see your presenter view.
Awesome. Well, you know what? We're just going to do what we
Good enough.
can. Right. So now you understand what I'm talking about, the agenda. So now we're all on the same page. Okay, all right. Junior prom is this Saturday. Some parents have volunteered to show up and provide some assistance. If you did, I'll be sending you an email at some point tomorrow just to remind you of the time that you signed up for. Thank you very much in advance for signing up. And if you do want to sign up and you hadn't already signed up, please just email myself or Mr. Cook at cmanning@cheltenham.org or tcook@cheltenham.org or the class of 2025 at cheltenham.org, and we'll be happy to provide something for you to do. So this is on Saturday at Arcadia Castle, which is not too far from the school. It's right across the street. The pictures, though, are able to be ordered online. And I know kids might not be big on the photos, but I know as families, sometimes you want the traditional prom pictures, right? So we're doing that this year. Hopefully, we did have quite a bit of interest. So if you are interested in purchasing those packages, you may purchase it on the online payment center, which we'll show you the link a little bit later in the slides so that you have access to everything. Let me see. The junior barbecue that's upcoming, the end of the year, we do have quite a few things that we've got, and that we need, participation from the kids. Our junior barbecue is going to be held on May 24th. The location is going to be in the buildings at some point outside, someplace outside. We just haven't decided on the location or the time as of yet. Once prom is over, we'll be able to sort those details out. We are accepting donations, and in the chat, Mr. Cook will drop a link. If there's something that you can donate, whether it's a few bags of ice or some water or some hot dog rolls, or if you just prefer to donate cash, that would be great too. We are looking to have a nice little barbecue for the kids on the 24th of May. Following that, on the 28th of May, to end our junior year with a bang, we are going to Six Flags. Right now, we do not have a large amount of support with this. And should we not have the support that we need, we will have to cancel this trip. I'm really hoping that we don't cancel the trip because the kids really wanted to do it. So if your child has not yet signed up, please encourage them to consider signing up and bringing some friends with them. We do need to sign up by the 8th and commitment by the 8th. And again, the link is on the online payment center. That's all you have to do. And then permission slips are found in my room or in the library with Mr. Cook. Now, the online payment center is an awesome tool for families because everything is on there, right? If you want to pay for something, everything is on there. And as soon as we get things approved, we do try to put the paperwork in for trips and other items in time so that parents have access to and are able to have access to the information a lot earlier so that they can plan appropriately. But anything that you need to pay for will be online. If you choose not to use the online payment center, that's fine. You may send a check with your student to school. It must be written out to the school district of Cheltenham, and I will provide a receipt. And also, if you send cash, I'll also provide a receipt so that you're aware that we received the funds that you sent to the school. But the online payment center is preferred because electronic, everything is just traced a little bit better. And then the checks are the checks can be sitting in possessions for a week or so, and I don't really, I think it's better to just do the online payment center. Okay, so in preparation for the senior year, senior portraits are upcoming. You were all sent emails. If for some reason you're not getting our emails, please let us know. Those are coming up. Actually, the next slide will tell you what the dates are. College visits should be scheduled at some point between now and the next year. We as a school have completed our version of the college visit, so there will be no college visits on our end for next year. As it relates to the graduation form that's sent out to the kids, we're trying to get a jump on that this year too, to figure out the height of your student, because we have to order their cap and gowns. So if you look out for an email from that, the kids were emailed this a little while back too. It's also posted on our Canvas page. So if they need help accessing that, it's on the Canvas page, or I asked Mrs. Jordan to re-email it out to the families. At this point, students should be meeting with their counselors to making sure that they are in a place where they will graduate in terms of their credits. And if they need assistance with credit recovery or anything like that, the counselor will be the best one to have that conversation with. Scheduling SATs, now's a great time to do so, because upon the beginning of the school year, we all know colleges are going to be doing early decisions, and you want to make certain that those things are done. So if you're not already a part of the Canvas page, the Class of 2025 Canvas page, I suggest that you as a student join. Also follow us on Instagram, as we do post quite a bit of information on there as well. And if you are a parent that is not receiving information from us, please verify your contact information that is provided to the school. I did send some emails out, and a lot of them were returned. So I'm not sure if jobs were changed, or maybe I found that some had a letter missing. So please, if you could just make certain that those are corrected so that you can have all the information, that'd be great. Let me see. And then there's a form. Mr. Cook will drop that in the chat as well, for if you have not already done so. As it relates to portraits, these are the dates. They're upcoming and they're approaching really, really quickly. So please pay attention. If for any reason students have not taken their pictures by the last date, they will not be featured in the yearbook. And that is a hard deadline because we do have a deadline that we have to get the yearbook submitted and the photos and everything submitted for the yearbook. Therefore, the senior pages are typically one of the first sets of pictures to go in and pages to be submitted. So please have your student or encourage your student to meet one of these deadlines. They could take the first session, do makeup session 2 more times. I mean, if they take the first session, there's still a lot of opportunities available. And the link for this will also be posted in the chat where you may go ahead and schedule appointments. There are a ton of appointments available between the 20th and the 23rd. Upcoming. Now, our senior prom dates, try to make this a little fun. May 22nd, 2025, the location is to be determined, but we will provide more information as the year continues and as we enter into the senior year of class 2025. Now, the most fun thing, our class trip. Where are we going? It's no surprise, we're going to Disney. So there's a little video here I'd like to show you. Hopefully plays, and then I'll introduce our special guest. And there's no sound. Why is there no sound? Hi. Tom, why is there no sound? It was just playing, was it not? Okay, we're gonna make believe that there's sound right now. But as you can see, it's a very fun experience for the kids. We're hoping that we'll all get an opportunity, a final opportunity to be able to bond together and have conversation and spend time exploring these wonderful parks, because there's quite a bit of traveling that will take place. The idea is that we will leave prom and the kids will hopefully have an after prom, and after prom we'll jump on a bus and head to the airport for an early morning departure out of Philadelphia, hopefully arriving in Orlando somewhere around 8:39, somewhere around there, right, Bruce? Would you
Correct.
say?
Early morning departure, yes.
Early morning departure, and then we'll hit the ground running to one of our three Disney parks. And then Saturday, we will do another park. Sunday, I think we decided on Universal on Sunday. And the itinerary was also shared with you. So if you do not know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you the itinerary in a second once the video is done playing. And then Bruce here will be able to explain the rest of the information that will be handy for you in terms of insurance requirements, purchasing insurance, and that type of thing. So here, we all know, right? Been to Disney. It's quite fun. Kids have a great time. We party within ourselves. And then we are staying at one of the Disney resorts. And this is presented by World Class Vacations. So before Bruce, I introduce you, I just want to go ahead and show let me see if I can figure this out before it. Can you see my screen now? What is that? What happened? What do you see? Do you see my screen? Do you see
Oh, there we go.
The itinerary? Okay, so here's the itinerary that we have created, May 23rd to the 26th, 2025. Again, this was also emailed, and the bus will depart super early from the high school. So parents will be asked to bring their students to the high school. Each day, the students will be given a gift card for food. Please consider sending your students with additional funds in addition for food or any snacks that they may want, in addition to spending money. They might want to buy trinkets or whatever it is that they may want to do. However, upon our return, we're asking that parents are at the airport to pick up their children. Now, the deposit dates are listed here on 5/24. The first deposit will be required to be made. If you have any circumstances that require that you have some additional time, please just reach out to Mr. Cook or I, and we'll be able to work with you. We just want to make certain that you're interested and that we have a number. We're trying to get a number of how many students are actually going to attend, because that's going to also create an adjustment either up or down on the cost of the trip. So we want to make certain that it's still cost effective for all of us to be able to attend. The second payment will be due on the 13th of September. And the final payment with the balance will vary depending on the site, on the room that you're choosing and your options. So that will be due on the 20th of December. All right, so that is all I have for now. And I'm going to turn it over to Bruce.
Before we turn it over there, there's a question about how do parents get on the Canvas page that I do not know the answer to.
Well, I can actually send an invitation to you, to the parents. So what I'll do, I just have to make certain. I know we can do it for our classes. So I'll go through the emails that I have for all the junior parents. And then I'll have I'll copy them and drop them in there. Hopefully, all you have to do is click on it. I hope it works the same way in that particular way. If not, I'll follow back up with you on how to do that and try to provide you access. But if you also, all the information that's posted on the Canvas page, we're also sharing via email. So are you getting that? Are you getting these emails that we're sending? I don't know how they're gonna answer. But if you're getting the emails that we're sending, then that works as well, because we try to communicate everything we post on the Canvas page. We're trying now to communicate via email to the parents.
We also have a question, which I believe we'll probably start covering now. What is the total cost of the Disney trip at this time?
So at this time, it was here on the. It's different depending on the room categories that the students and their families choose. Sorry, let me just find my page again where I can share my screen.
What was $16.95? Is that right?
So here are they. Can you see this at the top? Can everybody see this? Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
All right. So for a quad, we're looking at $1650, and that's a room with 4 individuals. For a triple, $1750. For a double, $1850, and for a single, $2,200 per student.
I have one more question about the deposit. If it is not, is it okay to pay less than the deposit to begin?
Right, that's a conversation that we would have separately. If you want to just shoot Mr. Cooker and I an email, we'll work with you separately on that, because you wouldn't be able to make that payment online. And again, the email is cmanning@cheltenham.org or tcook@cheltenham.org or class of 2025@cheltenham.org.
Okay. Maya?
Yes, I'm sorry, Bruce. The floor is all yours.
Let me give you a little bit of introduction of World Class Vacations, which is the one operating the trip. We are Walt Disney World's largest producer in the country for student groups. We have a lot of senior class groups in the area, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware, that go. Many in your area. We have Plymouth White Marsh, Upper Merion, Upper Dublin, Upper Moreland, Upper Horsham, Council Rock, North Penn, Quakertown. All the schools that do go on their senior class trip and have been doing for really about the past 40 years that we've been doing that. But it's been so successful because the kids come back from the trip, their senior trip, and have such a great time and talk about it, that it just spreads year after year, and the classes get bigger. So it's good to see that Cheltenham's trying to get on board here, and I think it's a great experience and memories galore for people that go on their senior class trip. We have a lot of the actual parents of the students who went on their senior class trips, if they went in to any of the local schools that did go. We are fully staffed. Like, we have a staff at the airport for check-in, because check-in can be a little crazy, especially when all the people come at one point in time. We can take up until the full aircraft, so we can take a lot of people. And if there's over an aircraft, like some of the bigger schools have even over an aircraft, we'll have the balance on a second aircraft going around the same time period. So it's been phenomenal as far as early morning departures, nonstop departures going down, same nonstop evening departures coming home. That's what I'd say 95% of the schools do. Some decide to go down on an evening flight and come back in an early morning flight. North Penn does that to maximize their days in between to have full days. But because we have staff at the airport, we have full-time staff at the location at Disney to handle everything, to make sure the buses are there. Every time a bus moves, our group is there. We have staff at the hotel to help with check-in, anything at all that goes with the trip. We take care of totally. We've had groups. Well, over COVID, it started in March, and we were, I think, the only travel company in the country who gave 100% of the money back, monetary money back to the when COVID hit and the trips didn't go. So we're the most reliable trip company, the student trip company available out there. We have the day-by-day type itinerary, the parks, the Disney parks. You have the Magic Kingdom, Epcot Center, Hollywood Studios. You're going to have the Universal and Islands of Adventure also included in the package with a dining card for your breakfast and dinners on that. So it is something that is really something that the students would love to do. And if they do, and it goes, they'll have a great time. The most important thing is that first deposit to make sure of the number of people that are going. Because they want to, in order to go forward, the school has certain requirements and that they have a certain number of people to go. So we're there all the step of the way. So anything we can do to help out. One of the things that we do is we recommend students take the optional trip insurance. There is optional trip insurance. It's not part of the package. Since COVID, you can't make it part of the package. It has to be an optional for the individuals. There'll be a link that will be sent that if you want to take it, there's two aspects of the insurance. There's the regular insurance for reasons of illness, injury, death in the family, and that type of thing that would pay up to 100%. But there's also an option that you can add on called the cancel for any reason insurance. That is something where you can cancel up to 48 hours before the trip, but you would only get 75% back. But people who might be on a sports team that maybe have they might make the playoffs during that time period, highly recommend that they do something like that, because a lot of times you don't know until right before the trip if you're making the playoffs or not. The other thing is, as far as with the group, we can do name changes on the groups, and that's important because if somebody does fall out and there's somebody else who wants to go, it's an easy way to them to not lose their money if somebody else is buying the trip, if the school's accepting of that. So there's every way that we have over the past 40 years working with schools, we've encountered just about everything. But the main thing is we have the trust and loyalty of all the schools that we have, and we hope to have Cheltenham and continue for a long time.
Are there any questions at this time relating to what Bruce just talked about? If there are, please add them in the Q&A section. In the meantime, thank you, Bruce, for that very informative information. We're gonna go through and talk about who's eligible to attend this trip, because there are parameters that are put in place to ensure that we have an awesome trip and that moving forward, this is something that we can continue here at Cheltenham. Let me just go back to here and share. All right. Are you able to see my screen? Yes. Yep. Awesome. All right, so who's eligible to take part in this experience? So we've had conversations about around this, and this is also something that we'll share with the families. And some of the items we talked about, if students are on the ban list for currently on the ban list, they're not eligible to add their deposit, to make their deposit in this particular point. If students are failing their classes, they're not eligible to make a deposit this time. Now, there is recourse for that, because ultimately we do want to give every student an opportunity to attend. But in order for them to be able to come, we have to ensure that they are at the very least passing their classes. And that's for junior year. We will revisit the certain of many of these in the fall. But as of now, the only individuals that are allowed to take part in this at this particular moment are the students who have not had more than 20 days absence from school, who are not on the ban list, and who are not currently failing their classes. Did I miss anything, Tom? There's a whole document that we'll send out to the parents that talks about liability and things that, consequences for behaviors on the trip. But we just want to make certain that we address that particular portion up front.
I don't believe in the there. In general, all CSD rules will be the handbook will still be in place for the duration of the trip.
Right. As well as Disney does have their own rules as it relates to certain things, as well as consequences. And in the event that a child is on the trip and they do disobey those rules, and Disney is involved, then the parent will be responsible for ensuring that that child is returned home.
I will say, to add to that, Ms. Manning, I will say Disney does not play. We will be staying on Disney property if a student chooses to break a Disney rule to such an event that Disney will not allow that student to remain on property. It will be the responsibility of the parent to ensure that student is able to return home at whatever cost is incurred.
Okay, right. Let me see. Students violating Disney and Universal regulations may be removed from the Disney property and detained according to local jurisdiction and laws. Parents will be responsible for all costs, etc. Okay, and then we'll definitely send this out to the family so that you're able to see, because there's a whole document that goes along with that. Are there any questions to this point? I can't see okay. So we do have an opportunity to be able to pay for this. And now my picture's not showing up, but we are doing a Mrs. Fields fundraiser that's going to run from September 4th to the 29th. And that will allow for the students to be able to raise some money to help to pay for the trip. We're also going to try to schedule some car washes. Those are always great opportunities for us to be able to make some money for the class as well. That would also reduce the cost of the trip. And I will tell you, students will, as it relates to the fundraisers, what you put in is what you get out, right? So if you're participating in the fundraisers, whatever is made from that fundraiser will be split within that particular space. So for example, the Mrs. Fields fundraiser is an individual fundraiser. So students and their families are able to sell cookie dough and whatever that amounts to in terms of profit for the organization, that's the amount that will go towards the students' trip. As it relates to the car wash, if they show up and they're diligently participating, whatever the funds are that are made from that particular car wash will also be applied evenly to their portion of the trip. That will help to reduce the cost. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns?
Specific questions regarding specific circumstances that may involve your student, please email Ms. Manning or I directly. There was a question asked about a medical question. For that, in order to respect privacy, please email us directly and we can answer that best.
Right. So if there are no questions, other questions, our contact information is on the screen. Please forgive the noise in the background. It is dinner time, and we know how that goes. That's a 3-year-old. But please feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email, and please, if we do not respond in 24 hours, just give us some additional time. The next few days are going to be a little tough for us in terms of the prom is on Saturday, and we're trying to get some things done. Plus, we're trying to organize some things for next year's prom, just this week. So it may take a little delay in responding, but we will definitely get back to you. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Bruce, seems like you answered all their questions with your presentation. Should they have any more questions, I'll reach out to you directly and then, get the answers and relay them to the parents. But that's all I've got. That's all we've got. Thank you very much for showing up and taking part tonight. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, though. All right, we're here to support you. Go class 2025.
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
All right.